In chapter 1 of Bluelock, Isagi says that I wanted to win after his team loses. The first time we ever see Isagi's aura with the puzzle pieces, he says that with my goal, I want to win. Then in chapter 62, Isagi says that is not adaptability. I'm not playing soccer so I can match someone else. I'm here to win. Later in the chapter, Isagi says, you can never change people. That's why my only choice is to change myself. There is no other way for me to change. A world that doesn't go my way, if there's no light to guide me to a goal, I just have to become the light myself. And then he proceeds to score a goal. Chapter 148, Isagi says, I'm going to bring Japan a U20 World Cup victory. And in chapter 151, Isagi says, I change the world with my goal. And in chapter 157, Isagi says that I'm going to drag Kaiser off of his throne. Isagi wants the status and the notice of people around him that he is number one. That's why he's considered a world type. He cares about the status, how people see him, and he wants that people acknowledge that he is number one, that he is the best. Isagi passed the Kunigami at the end of the Barcha match, because then it would mean that based on the world and based on Noah, there would be value in him playing more matches. In chapter 203, Isagi says, also I could prove that I was this match's top performer. Chapter 148, Noah says that whoever comes in second will not be remembered. If you are not number one, won't leave your mark on this world. Bastard Munchen, we will win this and make our mark in history. Now, we have to understand what I wanted to win means. Know that Isagi is a world type, because as Noah stated, and he's a self-type egoist, that being number one is something that the world cultivated. I just live my life in pursuit of being a striker. So he didn't pursue his life to be number one, he pursued his life as a striker and got number one. But Isagi doesn't work like that. He pursues his life to get the title of number one and works until he can get that. But the question is, what does it truly mean for Isagi to win? Well, we have to understand chapter 1. Isagi in chapter 1 is sorry at Noah because he wasn't able to become a superstar like Noah. He won't be able to because he failed, he's in his second year, he's going to have to give up. He's some no-name bum that lost. That is his reality. His dreams of representing Japan and winning the World Cup to him are just a stupid dream because he's no one special. He couldn't win the game that mattered to him the most, and he couldn't go to nationals. He lost. But something is in the back of his mind. If I had scored, could I have changed my destiny? And that he did. In chapter 147, Isagi went from some nameless nobody to the savior of Japan's football. Because of that, he was acknowledged not only by Japan, by the world. You see that Michael starts beefing with Isagi because he is the ace, crown jewel of Japan. He's loved, he's known, and people want to see the star Isagi Yoichi. Isagi has done everything during the NEL to prove that he is not only a striker, but to prove to the world that he is the best player on the pitch. Sometimes he has to make compromises, but if it's for his goal of eventually being number one, then he will do it. The normal thing for Isagi to do back in chapter 1 was to pass, but Isagi is wondering if he discarded those thoughts of what he was taught and just scored. He might not have made it. He could have risked not making it, but would that risk be worth it if he could perhaps change his destiny and not be left behind by the superstars of his generation, by the people who will eventually rise up to be number one? And that's what I believe Isagi wants the most. He doesn't want to be left behind by the people who are better than him. Isagi at that point in the match was currently, he was at a breaking point because people like Kaiser, like Rin, like Loki, they were breaking through. They were growing, they were accelerating at speeds and growths that he could not comprehend, that he could never find a way to win against them. Some say that Isagi discarding his ego makes him not truly a striker. But the thing you have to understand is that we've mostly been with geniuses as strikers. Most of the, I guess, prodigy or talented learners that we have seen have stopped being strikers. What does Reo, another talented learner, literally do in chapter 106? He throws everything he had away and becomes an idiot. And what happens? He awakens, he scores a goal, and he understands a step forward to becoming the world's best. And I think Isagi is finally having his awakening at that moment. It's not so much that it's an awakening that can fully go forward, but an awakening that can help him find a pathway to go forward. Reo says he'll become an idiot and become the world's best striker, but he throws that away literally like 3 matches later in Manshine match, and he decides he's gonna help Nagi. But right now he's stagnating. So what helped him grow was discarding what he had, and what made him relapse was going back to what he used to have. So now why is this new ego important? The world of soccer wants a genius, a new hero to score. But when Isagi stopped Rin from scoring, it showed the world that a mediocre person like him could crush him. Someone with no genius-like talent could crush him. Just by using his own skills and his own logic, he managed to defeat the quote-unquote hero that was going to be born. The geniuses that were now leaving him behind, he showed to not only them but the world that, hey, I'm still here. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to crush you no matter how long it takes. I will find a way to beat you. And that is Isagi truly being in tone with not wanting to be left behind, wanting to be a star on the stage. Because he is a star. He just proved 3 geniuses wrong. Just cook them. And we know based on the leaks of the newest chapter that Isagi does try himself to score a goal. So the question is, what does it mean to win? And I've given my consensus, my idea on what I think Isagi means when he wants to win. What it means for Isagi to win is to make his mark, to not be left behind. Even if he doesn't score today or tomorrow, he's still there fighting on the field and people are acknowledging that. And one day he will rise and come out on top. But to truly understand what it means to win in the eyes of Isagi, we're gonna have to wait for Kaneshiro to end the match. And whether or not it's how I say it, he does it a different way, he makes Isagi a midfielder, whatever, no matter what he does, I will be along for the ride of Blue Lock.